Welcome to the final session of the week. This is for finishing our reviews. We're going to write a composition as a product for the unit. We're going to write a composition about before and after comparisons of present and past, and I'm your instructor, Joey Walker. The composition itself, it's about how things have changed after the pandemic of coronavirus. So we'll start with that. It'll give you some vocabulary to do so. I'm your instructor, Joey Walker. So, besides doing the composition, you will have to do the following exercises. You need to answer the extra practice page 120 from your student book and the page 74 and 75 from your workbook. Like we said, we're going to write a composition about the coronavirus, past and present tense as a comparative between the two, what has changed basically in our life, and we're going to answer a self-assessment questionnaire. So, first things first, let's start with some vocabulary. First, let's talk about in general free time activities. For example, watching TV or watch TV, listen to music, watch TV, listen to music, play an instrument, go to the movies, play video games, read, surf the internet, do or play a sport, go shopping, spend time with the family, go out with friends, and study. All of these can be done with or without coronavirus, I think, right? So let's divide these activities for two categories. For example, we have outdoor activities. Here we have fishing, having a picnic. In this case, we have basically, if we go here, rafting. Here we have hiking. We have mountain climbing, sailing, walking the dog, hunting, biking or going on a bicycle, camping, making a barbecue, okay, making a bonfire, flying a kite, going to the beach or relaxing on the sand, whatever, going for a swim. Those are all the things that are outdoor activities. Maybe we used to do them or we did them in the past. Right now, with the current conditions in the world, we cannot do them. So this is a reference for the past tense, what we used to do. Now, indoor activities, I think that those are the activities that we're more inclined to now that we cannot go outside as much as we would want. For example, we have painting, making experiments or doing experiments, knitting, dancing, listening to music, doing aerobics, reading, chatting with friends, paper folding or origami, playing a musical instrument, basically working or doing jigsaw puzzles or puzzles in general, building with blocks, cooking if you like cooking, treasure hunting. I don't think we can do that right now. Playing chess. I like chess. Pencil and paper games, drawing, computer and video games, watching TV, and playing cards. All of these are activities that we can do right now in our house. Now, in order to make a comparative composition between present and past, we need to understand that we can use two types of present. Present simple. Remember, it's a subject plus a verb. I play, we dance, they cook, they run. In third person, we add the S. He plays, she dances, he walks. We use present simple to express a general truth, something that doesn't really change that much. We use that to indicate the present habits. For example, general truths. It rarely rains in the desert. Indicate present activities or habits. The birds return to the island every morning. Express timetable events, events that are going to happen at a specific time. Example, the plane to London takes off at 6:30 a.m. And we also use to indicate permanent states. I like the new James Bond film, for example. This is permanent. Your opinion cannot change that easily. Okay? Present continuous. We need to use the subject or the pronoun. I, he, she, it, we, you, they. I am, he is, she is, it is, Johnny is, Mary is, we are, you are, they are, the kids are. Negative not and the verb with ing. They are used to describe actions happening now. Example, she's reading a newspaper upstairs. They're also used to express annoying habits. Whenever we do that, we use always. You're always forgetting to pay the bills. You're always interrupting the class. You're always eating and talking. Okay, we can use it to describe a future arrangement, a future plan, basically. For example, she's getting married on 3 November and on November 3rd. And finally, to express temporary states, she's working at the museum until the end of the month. Or we are staying in our houses. We're not going outside as much and as often. Now, that's simple. Remember, affirmatives we have ending ed, worked, played, sing, danced. Well, not sing, sorry. If it's a regular, we end ed. If it's irregular, we use irregular conjugation in affirmative. Sang, for example, swang, sang, ate, thought. All of those we can use them in affirmative. Negative, we use didn't work, didn't sing, didn't dance, didn't go. Interrogative, I'm not going to explain it because we're not going to use it for compensation purposes. All right, so keep those in mind. Also, if you use the verb to be, you can use affirmative was for singular. He was happy, I was happy, she was ill, it was cold. And then we use were for plurals. You were late, we were angry, they were at home. Negative was not or wasn't for singular, were not or weren't plural. Okay? He was not ill, she was not happy, I wasn't cold. You were not late, we weren't hungry. For example, interrogative, we're not going to use them in the composition, so I'm leaving this aside. Okay, the adverbs. Remember, if we are talking about a frequency, we can go from top always, something that you cannot stop doing, as something that you do every day or constantly. For example, I always take a shower during the mornings, something that doesn't change. Usually, it's most of the times. I usually see my friends on Saturdays. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. Normally, it's a little less. Like, I normally go to bed at 9. That would be most likely. Frequently, it's a little less, and often, then we have the minimum. Sometimes. I sometimes watch movies. I occasionally have a drink. I seldom have a smoke. I rarely visit my parents. I hardly ever, that would be almost never. I hardly ever have time to do exercise, let's say, and never. I never, I don't know, whatever you have never done, or I never sing in parties, let's say. You can use these ones in your composition, but you can also use this one. Some groups of time for present, every day, usually, often, sometimes, like we mentioned. Continuous now, at this moment, for the time being. The past, yesterday, last month, last week, last month, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, and specific times in 1962, in November 6th, or you can use past continuous yesterday, o'clock, 5 o'clock, while when it came. Future, we're not going to do that. So, moving on. After this, we make a composition. Let's see that focus that one using present continuous. I highlighted with orange. Infinitive and present tense, infinitive of purpose and present tense. I highlighted that in blue. Past tense, I used red. And adverbs of time, I used green. So after I do this, it will be your turn to make your composition. COVID-19 is causing changes in our lives. It's forcing us to adopt new ways of working, socializing, and entertaining ourselves. Check, I'm using gerunds here, even though they're are not a present continuous. They're expressing a present tense. Okay, but I highlighted them because it's a gerund. Before this contingency, we traveled freely from one place to another. We had big celebrations with music, parades, concert, or even just had a drink or two with friends at a bar, went to movies or ate out. Now, all these activities seem far away, and they were substituted by indoor activities like watching TV, movies, playing video games, and a strong hygiene regime. We can go shopping as a family like before. Currently, only one person per family is allowed in the market and stores, and using a face mask is a must, so it's obligatory. Outdoor activities in public places are off because they are high risk zones of infection. During these times, my family's taking on activities like board games, video games, watching movies, and leaving the house only to buy groceries and other essential items. Tell me, what are the things that you did before COVID 19 and what are the things that you're doing now? Okay. So those two questions. What are the things that you did before COVID-19 and what are the things that you do now? Those are the baselines in order for you to start with your composition. So this composition will be done for this week and that will be the last activity. Also, this is the last session for videos because it's our last week of class. So I hope you enjoyed all of this and I hope that everything that we have done has been helpful for your education and your, in this case, professional development in terms of English. So have fun, take care. I expect to see your composition soon. See you. Bye bye.